Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag Sidequest with some news and updates. I am your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. With me, joining me, is the moderate gamer who can't quite figure it out, Keith.
Hello.
And that's it. It's just us, Keith.
It's you and I, Andrew. All by ourselves.
We're bringing back the boy talk.
You know, there's something to be said for that. Not a lot of good things, but there is something to be said for it.
It's been a while since we've done one of these episodes, but we figured, we're actually probably going to miss a week. Holidays are coming up. So we were like, you know what? We've been having some hard time kind of getting some gaming in. So, hey, there's actually been some news and updates that we figured would be kind of worth talking about. So this will probably be a quicker, shorter episode, but, it's this or nothing. So if you don't like it, we'll see you next week. But yeah, we have a couple topic points we kind of wanted to talk about a little bit here. The first one, Keith, I don't know if you saw. So I was surprised this caused kind of there's always a little bit of like trauma with anytime Xbox comes out with something. So Xbox just came out with a new ad campaign called This is an Xbox, which I didn't think much of it. But of course, a lot of people on the internet are very upset about. I don't know if you saw it, but I will quickly play it on our video stream. If people ever go to our YouTube, you can watch along with us. Right off the bat, when I saw it, I was just like, you know what? I actually thought that was a pretty solid ad, because not only that, it's super memeable. I also liked, like, during the ad, it's showing a bunch of different things: a TV, a controller, a phone, a computer. All of these things are an Xbox. And then, of course, it does a joke of, oh, this is a bento box and someone's eating a lunch. So I already see like a bunch of memes and stuff of like, this is a Xbox, this is a Fox. And so it's like, there's always these kind of goofy memes. So whoever came up with the ad campaign was actually very clever, because I actually think it's a good meme. But of course, a lot of people are upset about it because they're like, oh, this is a way of Microsoft saying that they're kind of done with consoles. Xbox is dying. They're now more of a publishing studio.
And what's the problem in that, though? Like, as long as they keep putting out good games that you want to play, like where would the problem lie? And at the same token, they're in many cases with Game Pass, they're doing games that aren't directly Xbox games. I mean, yes, a lot of them are, but there's also a fair number of games there that aren't Xbox properties. They just, I mean, obviously they make money on it somehow. It's not, they're just some benevolent company just letting these games be there, but it's like there's plenty of other games being offered through it. So if at the end of the day the console isn't the priority, I don't know. I've never really understood the whole console wars, because while I'm not a PC person by any means, I know that the most powerful performance is in a PC ultimately. Like, no matter what it comes down to at the end of the day, the PC is going to have the superior just graphics. Like, you can put more into it because you can spend that money. But consoles are mass produced. There's going to be some limitations to keep it cost effective. Why piss over consoles at the end of the day? If the next PlayStation ends up being more powerful than the Xbox because they don't quite fully focus on the hardware, but they can deliver all those same games through the cloud and other various ways, what do I care? I don't know. But I obviously don't see it the same way all of the angry people on the internet do.
I see it both ways. Like, I understand where people are upset about it, because it is like, I've always played Xbox ever since the original OG Xbox. I've always loved it. I always think it's a great console. I always loved, Microsoft as a company. I always felt like they were more consumer friendly. It's generally why I always preferred them over PlayStation or Nintendo. I can get it a little bit where people are like, this is a thing they grew up with. It's a lot of nostalgia things to them. And that's how I am too, because Phil Spencer even kind of came out, obviously you've seen that Microsoft has released a handful of their games now, multi-platform, Sea of Thieves, Pentiment, I think Forza. No, maybe not one of either way. There's like 8 games. Not like, Hi-Fi Rush was one. Not like super high profile games, but it's obvious testing the water. And from what I've heard, they've sold very well. And so Phil Spencer even kind of came out saying like, I don't see any game as a no-go. Like, I could not bring this multi-platform. So I can understand some people like that. Like, just growing up, like for me, it would hurt to see Halo or Gears of War. But also, too, I'm on the other side of why would I gatekeep something that I love for other people? Like, I love the Halo series, and it is weird to be like, oh, you can only my box can play this thing. Like, forget you people, you can't enjoy Halo. So it's like, I understand both sides, but like deep down in my soul, I'm also like, no, Halo, Master Chief, Marcus Phoenix, they have always been the Xbox like mascots.
I'm just waiting for like the US government to step in and be like, no, thank you. This is a monopoly and collusion and you're all working together. You have to separate your games. You're not allowed to do like where
the government stepping in to say, no, continue this culture, this console war, please.
Yeah, please continue this. We don't care for you guys getting along, sharing your games. This is America. Hate each other. Please,
we
and
don't
thank
do
you.
that. We like to be angry at the other people. So please.
You're allowed a limit of 2 games per year that are cross-platform.
But yeah, so I can understand like some people being upset about it. But like I will say though, what I love of like I love this idea of streaming and things are in Xbox. So like these have already said, like Phil Spencer and a bunch of other higher ups have said they are making more consoles. You know, this like Xbox isn't dead. They're already planning. I thought they said they were going to reveal it this holiday is one console they were maybe going to show. They did announce that they're making a handheld, but I think that isn't being released for about another year or two, which sucks because I feel like this ad campaign would have been a perfect segue to be like, oh, and here is our personal handheld, which the handheld is supposed to be like a Steam Deck where it's an actual hard drive. You can install your own games and not have to stream it. I want that so badly.
Did they just buy Steam? Can they
can't afford Steam? I don't think they can afford Steam.
That's probably ridiculous. But otherwise, like, I almost want to say, I mean, at least from everything I've heard of anyone personally who has a Steam Deck, it's like, I don't know, why compete with that at this point? I know you're Microsoft and you can get in that game pretty easily, but I don't know, why bother? Especially because the Steam Deck can already do Xbox Cloud. So it's like you don't need a new cloud device unless it can do something different. Like, can it stream PC games? Because that would be kind of nifty. If you could start streaming PC games over cloud, I'm sure you could on PC. I don't know. Well,
I mean, there's a handful of handhelds. I'm trying to look. I think it's Lenovo's. I noticed there's the ASIC. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Lenovo.
So they
actually are kind of like a Switch where the thing can detach from the side and you can essentially use it as a mouse. And to me, I'm like, that's cool. That where you can actually like kind of have as a Switch, take off the handles, set it as a screen, and actually use it as a mouse. Because like I haven't gotten a Steam Deck because I don't know if I would. They're very pricey, but like anyway, I've heard the same thing. Everyone says it's really good, it works really well, but it's still just to me a handheld, and I don't know how many PC games I'd want to play with a handheld. Like I wouldn't want to play Frostpunk with it. You know, I like my strategy games, and I don't know if I want to do that with a handheld like that.
That's a lot of information crammed into a small screen.
Yeah. So that's why I'm curious of like, I feel like Xbox is going to come out with something good. Because I will say, I've been playing a lot of my games mostly now on cloud. I don't know if you have, but I mostly stream or take it portably.
I mean, no, I still pretty much download all my games from Game Pass to my hard drive for the most part. Because I don't know, I'll just free up space as I go. But
I try to, but then when you got a game like that we're playing now, Stalker 2, and it's 140 gigs, I'm like, ooh, hopefully I can finish some games up soon and delete them, but I'm going to just cloud this game for a little bit.
Well, I mean, that's kind of part of what's nice about it. I mean, some of them are games that I'm like, well, I mean, one of them was like Sifu, and I was like, I'm going back and playing that game. And that was 20 gig right there. I freed up. But there's like some games I was like, we played that, and I think I do want to go back and play it. But knowing that I can just go back and cloud play those games is nice. I'm like, yeah, all right, 15 gig here, 20 gig there. So I actually freed up the 142 gig or so. Well, I think I only needed 100, but I freed it up fairly quickly. And cloud is a lot of the reason is just knowing that I have that availability without having to keep games on my hard drive to go back and play them.
Yeah. So to me, I feel like a lot of people are blowing this whole ad campaign out of proportion because I'm also kind of surprised. Like Microsoft is definitely like doubling down on streaming, which is weird because I remember the whole court case, going against the FTC of buying Blizzard. I remember they gave like a statistic of saying like less than 1% of their users use the cloud gaming. I mean, I bet that number has doubled, I guess is 2%. That number clearly has probably like gone up to probably, I would easily say maybe 30 to 40% people now like stream. It's so easy. Like I've gotten a lot of my friends into it because I have some friends that are just like, a lot of people also aren't aware of it, where it's just like, yeah, as long as you have a phone, you literally go to the web browser, xbox.com/play. There you go. Start playing the games. Like it's so easy. And it's convenient. Like I don't know why, like I never play mobile games anymore because I'm just like, I'll just play Xbox because it's just right on my phone. It's so easy.
Well, that also makes me wonder, and I'm sure somebody's tried this, so I'm not like the first person who's ever thought of this, but PlayStations have a web browser. Couldn't they just go to that website and stream Xbox games through a PlayStation browser? So in theory, you already have crossplay for all Xbox games.
Yeah, in theory. But still, I don't know. The whole thing of it is like, I don't think Microsoft is, I don't think like Xbox is dead. Like a lot of people are crying about, because it does make sense. Like it actually feels kind of nice. Like when Sea of Thieves hit PlayStation, like I love Sea of Thieves. And sure enough, I'm playing with my friends. One of them has a PlayStation. And it's just kind of nice to know that I'm playing the game for free. As my friend over there forked over $60. And it just makes me think, I'm like, thank you for supporting the studio, because I've only put in a couple money to buy some premium currency, but obviously I didn't buy the game. I just do it on Game Pass. So it is just kind of nice of knowing that, the PlayStation suckers over there are spending money to help support the games that I love. So they make more of them, because I would love more Sea of Thieves. I would love more Halos. I'd love more Gears of War. But,
and to a certain degree, as long as, I guess they could always change their whole strategy of how they do it. But like, I don't know, the cloud or the Xbox cloud runs on the back of like One or Series X's, right? So it's
I believe so.
So in theory, even as they progress, like they're going to need to build a new console. So they're going to market that, and it's going to have to be powerful. So it's like, it's not even like they're going to have to sell out on the console unless they find another way to utilize the cloud other than how they already are. And it seems like they're doing that pretty effectively, because I mean, you use it, as you said, a lot more than I do, but any times that I have, even, it's never, at least outside of what I feel like my actual internet speed is, I don't feel like it's all that laggy or delayed or anything like that. At least if I'm not playing any like high action games.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, remember back in the day, there actually were consoles that were strictly just streaming. The first one was, what was it called? Was it Ouya? It had a weird name. It literally was a tiny box, and it just did streaming. That thing, I think, died within like 4 months. I remember when my brother was the one who first told me about it. I was kind of tempted to buy it because I think it was like $100. It was actually very cheap. But yeah, it only lasted like a couple months. The one that lasted the longest was Google Stadia.
Yeah.
Remember that? That lasted about a year. And that was the thing. I remember when Google was coming out with that, everyone's like, "Oh, it's Google. They're going to come out with a good streaming box." And even then, those like any streaming console that came out had awful latency. That was always the number one thing people said, was just the latency was just so bad. That just, because I remember the Stadia had the big thing they were pushing is, we have Destiny 2. Like Destiny 2, I think, was included when you bought the game or something, or the console. And everyone was just like, nah, you can't really play it. It's just the latency so bad. But I'm with you. Anytime I stream games, I'm like, this works very well.
Well, and I wondered too if they weren't truly running like off of a cloud, like if that's like kind of the difference of how Xbox is running it, or they actually are running a cloud-based service, where the other ones were like, I don't know what the difference would be, but
I don't think there's a difference. I'm not sure. I figured they're both just running off servers that you stream off of a cloud.
Yeah. Well, no, but like if you're running off of non-cloud servers, it's like direct servers. So it's like, hey, this block of servers is always dedicated to it. So no matter how much traffic you put into it, like that's always what it's going to do. Whereas like cloud, it can adjust and like vary for what it needs to. So like if it needs, if more people are playing Destiny 2, or some people, or if all of a sudden people jump off Destiny 2 and are on Need for Speed, the new, say that was out, like all of a sudden, like it can adjust for that differently. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
I like how much you struggled to think of another game besides Destiny.
Yeah, Need for Speed. That was the best I came up with, Need for Speed.
Oh, you're gonna be like,
well, like I couldn't say Halo. Midnight Club. Tokyo Extreme Racer. That game was awesome.
That was a good game.
Anyways, bring that back. That was a cool style game. That's all I'm saying.
But it definitely just shows that Microsoft is just doubling down on this cloud streaming, and that's the whole thing of like, this is, I think, clearly just where gaming's going, is just accessibility and portability, because that's how it is. Like, people, like, a lot of people don't realize, but mobile games make a ton of money. And if you're just making your regular video games mobile, like, you're just going to be bringing these people in. And to me, that makes sense. It kind of stinks, but I mean, it's just changing of the times. It's going to happen. Games are getting more expensive. You need to hit a broader audience. And to me, though, I'm also not getting upset too, because to me, this is just the new age of indie games. It's like, that's the other thing where people are so worried about, like, these big corporations, because there's now rumor that Sony is going to buy the parent company of From Software, and that Sony will now own, the Elden Ring, Bloodborne, that whole studio. But to me, I'm like, I don't care, because of course people are freaking out because like, the studio is going to die, blah, 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 which is very possible. But new studios open up again. Indie games come around, and, indie games have been killing it. They've been doing so well. So for me, I'm just like, it's just refreshing the studio. Big corporations can scoop up these people, and, they'll just get refreshed. But
it's like you said, because it's like mobile games in a way, but it's such a weird thing to say. But I always think it's funny because we always kind of joke about it. Is your brother calling Slay the Spire a mobile game? And he was never wrong about it. It
did become a mobile game.
It became a mobile game, and it's perfect for it at that, because that's truly what it was at heart. But it didn't need to be. It could be a console game because of how it holds up and what it is. And that's, I think, what we're seeing, like you said, in this sort of indie revolution, if you will, is like this variation of games that they're simple enough that you can play them on a small screen or you can play them on a big screen, and they're still just as entertaining to play. And it's like this weird new genre of games that just expands beyond all genres too.
Yeah. But speaking of the streaming, though, that Microsoft's been pushing, and other news that I feel like I don't know how this wasn't more announced, but you can now start streaming your owned Xbox games on the cloud. So before it was only Game Pass games, and even then it was only kind of select Game Pass. It was like 90% of the Game Pass catalog, but for the most part, before it was just, Game Pass catalog, you can stream. But now you can actually stream the games that you actually own. Some of them. Sorry, I should put that caveat as well. Only some of them. But I mean, the list is pretty significant. They announced, I think, this first batch about 50. But quick reading of the excerpt, it says, today millions of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members are enjoying xCloud gaming to play top titles from the Xbox Game Pass catalog on various devices. We've also heard your excitement about having more flexibility to stream games you own beyond the Game Pass catalog. Starting today, I'm excited to announce that we're allowing Game Pass Ultimate members to stream select games they own through TVs and browsers on supported devices like smartphones, PCs, and tablets in all 28 countries where Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta is available. This is just the beginning. Next year, we're excited to bring this feature to Xbox consoles and the Xbox app on Windows. So that was the thing I tried. I didn't realize that it was only on, the xbox.com/play, like going to the browser and doing it. Because I was like, cool. I saw one of the games was Baldur's Gate 3, which is, once again, as we talked about, a huge game. So it's like, can I delete this and just stream it? Because I'm okay with a game like that. I have a little latency because it's a turn-based RPG. But no, it's only unfortunately on a browser right now, but they said it's coming soon. It's not in this article, but they also did announce that, pretty much the whole groundwork is done. All they essentially need is a studio to give them the okay to cloud it. So right now they have about 50 games. Some of the significant ones, you got a lot of the Assassin's Creed Mirage, Balatro, Keith. I know you just bought it on your phone, but now literally the Balatro you own on your Xbox, you could have just played on your phone now.
Well, no, I just signed up for Apple Arcade instead because then it comes with a whole bunch of other games, which includes Monster Train now.
Ooh, Monster Train. That's a great game. I missed that one.
Yeah, but Balatro on mobile, cloud playing from my phone.
But some of the other significant games, Baldur's Gate 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Cyberpunk 2077. That's the one I was most excited for because I've been trying to play that game for so long. But I don't, like I said, I mostly do games on streaming now, so I just haven't had time for it. Dredge, Dying Light 2, a lot of Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Hades. What other ones are the big ones? Oh, Metro Exodus, Mortal Kombat 11, Rust, Star Wars Outlaw. Yeah, there's
Phasmophobia. That's when you were playing, weren't you? Or you were looking at?
Yeah. Phasmophobia. Yeah, so I've already tested this out and it works very well. Yeah, xbox.com/play. And literally there's a section that says play your own games. So you get to click on it and it gives you the list, but then there's also another tab that says what games do I actually own? And it'll obviously put that list down. The only thing that stinks that I will say, because one of the games on here is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which I own, but I own the disc. So it doesn't look like you can stream games if you own the disc, which also sucks because I know there's a lot of people out there that are huge physical copy owners. That's what they want. Apparently that doesn't count. Apparently just because you own the disc, I own the disc and it was in my home Xbox. And I guess it still doesn't give me credit. So if you want to play these games, unfortunately you have to own the digital copy, which kind of sucks. But I think this is awesome.
I bought Balatro physical copy for Xbox.
Is there actually a physical copy?
There actually is for Switch.
Yeah, for Switch, I guess that makes sense.
But yeah, otherwise there is not.
I feel like that's a game that would have such a cool collector's edition. You could make such a cool Joker card box.
It does come with the full deck of cards, but there is I think one of each of the editions, the foil and all that.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So it's a regular 54 deck playing card?
I don't think so.
Well, while you're looking that up, the other thing I figure we could talk about, which is also kind of crazy, but speaking of Balatro, is the Game Awards announced a bunch of their nominations, including Game of the Year. And this I thought was pretty crazy.
Oh shoot, there actually is a physical edition for Xbox One.
Oh really?
I made a joke about it, but there actually is.
Is there a collector's edition or is it just pretty basic?
Yeah, it sounds like they're not very cool. It's 5 Jokers and 5 Aces. And yeah, not the editions, the specialties. So silver, gold, multiplier, chips, and what's it called? Wild card.
Man.
Yeah, they don't look very cool. I guess I could share my screen actually. For the people watching at home. I don't know how to do it. Share.
You always do it. I learned from you how to do it. And now you're how do I share my screen?
But yeah, they don't look very cool.
No, they actually look very flat. I mean, it looks fine.
Yeah. I mean, if it was my only option, I guess, to get the game, then I would be fine with having it. But otherwise...
I like that title even said the physical cards are underwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah. That person wasn't trying to show it off by any means. But you were saying, anyways, Balatro Game of the Year, right?
Yeah. So this year for the Game Awards, they announced, obviously, their categories. But for the Game of the Year, they have Astrobot, PlayStation exclusive, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, which currently is a PlayStation exclusive, but coming to Xbox. Craziest one, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Then they have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And then Metaphor ReFantazio. This is a weird year. First of all, I've seen a lot of people get upset about it. I'm in the same camp. I do not think Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree should be on this list. It's an expansion. Not only is it an expansion, it's an expansion you can't play unless you played 40% of the base game in order to even get to that. And
see, I guess that's where the fine line is, because otherwise, the other argument that I've heard is that it is like still like a 60+ hour expansion. Like it essentially is a second game, but the fact that you have to have the first one still, and I think that makes sense that you have to have the first one, and I think that's even fine. But to have to go through a certain part of it to be able to play it,
but then even too, so Elden Ring, I believe what was it, the year before? Not last year, because last year was Baldur's Gate. Yes, it was like the year before. As far as the expansion goes, it doesn't change much of anything. Obviously, it adds new location, new weapons, new enemies, new bosses, but it is an expansion. It is just the same game, just kind of more of an area. So it's odd that to me that's the biggest odd thing of why is this on this list? But of course, the funny thing I think is Balatro, because I saw it on Twitter, which I actually ended up holding here. I see so many people saying this, of people dunking on Balatro being a Game of the Year nomination, only to go try the game, realize it's good, and come back to apologize to everyone and get more people curious about the game. Is the funniest cascading effect I've seen in a long time. And I've seen that a bunch too, because people are like, oh, it's a stupid card game. But then people play it and they're like, oh no, this game's awesome.
It really is. Like it's hard to tell with like Reddit, because I don't know. I think there's just a lot of trolls and there's, people just trying to be funny. But I do think there's a fair number of them that were just that. They're like, I checked this game out because I thought, how is this game of the year? And it's been 8 hours. What do I do? Like, I mean, that's kind of what the game does to you. And it's so like, I'm so torn about it because I don't think it's with any question. I've talked about it across, I don't know how many episodes, just about every opportunity I get. I play it on multiple devices. I have multiple profiles going for that matter, and in like different levels. And it's a game I can just play and play and play and play. But I don't know that I would call it a game of the year, I guess. But at the same token, I think it has so much of the same effect on so many people like me that's why it is. And it's so accessible because it's also up for best mobile game of the year, which hands down it should win that. I think like Pokemon trading card game is in there, which we play that.
It's 100% going to win best mobile game. Like, there's no way it doesn't win that.
There's something wrong with these awards if it doesn't win best mobile game.
Yeah.
But does it win game of the year? I mean, honestly, I think it could.
I think it should. I'm not going to lie. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, some of these other games are good.
So I've heard, really from recurring guest Nave, that Metaphor ReFantazio is a great game. Honestly, I had never heard of the game outside of hearing him talk about it. I don't follow a lot of game news, though, as a lot of people may know, but I had never heard of it. And I, heard him say great things about it. And all of a sudden I popped up on this. I was like, oh, I didn't even honestly know that game came out this year. Not to say that it doesn't serve to be there, but that's how in the loop I am at times.
See, I really want to play Metaphor ReFantazio. Like that's been on my list. It's from Atlas.
It's an RPG, right?
Yeah, turn-based RPG. It's from the people who did Persona that we played.
Okay.
So the combat's very similar to it, but everyone says, the story, universe, everything is fantastic. But for me, why I personally think Balatro should win, because I honestly would say Balatro is kind of like one of those almost generation defining games, because like it's one of those indie games that it's going to keep going and going and going. People are going to keep going back to it. Like to me, the other big indie game was like Stardew Valley. That was a game that has been out. It's been over 10 years, I think now, almost. And still, I know so many people who play it. It's still updated. And like, it's just one of those games that'll always, people will keep playing. And I think that's how Balatro is. Because as much as I know Metaphor ReFantazio probably is actually very good, it is one of those things that in a year, are people really going to be talking about it anymore? And probably not. And like, same with, Black Myth Wukong, I heard a lot of people talk about it. Not so much anymore, like, because obviously it's been out for some time now. I heard it's very good. I've been wanting to play that as well. But it's just, to me, the one I also think is also very odd is Astrobot. Now, I didn't play Astrobot, I will say that, but I've seen a lot of footage. I've seen a lot of people play it. And to me, it looks like a pretty basic platformer, which isn't bad, but it's not really new. Like, to me, it's not doing anything too groundbreaking. It's very colorful, very fun. Music and art style and stuff is really cool. But to me, I was kind of surprised that was nominated for Game of the Year.
I mean, I know. So Black Myth, well, you at least said is at least currently Xbox only or PlayStation only, and so is Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
but like, so I get that those are on there, but it just feels like almost like a little just like nod to like Sony. Like, here you go, guys. You're
which
welcome.
everyone kind of makes fun of Jeff Keighley, who runs the show.
We love you. Here's your spot.
Yeah, everyone makes fun of him, saying he's just a huge Sony shill. Because when Sony announced the PlayStation Pro, like he tweeted about it like 40 times within like 2 days. But then when Microsoft announced something, he says it like once and then moves on. So everyone's just like, yeah, this guy's a complete Sony shill. I don't know if it's that. Because I mean, if you think of like, what other games would you nominate that we played this year that like, do you think would prefer being over there? I will say, I saw some people saying Starfield, because they're also making the comparison because Starfield beat Astrobot in both Metacritic score and user score. So they're like, it's literally a higher rated game for Metacritic, yet it gets the shaft.
So, I mean, this is a personal opinion, but you brought this up as far as you thought it got kind of overlooked on another category. But I would honestly argue that I think Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 could be in there for Game of the Year in terms of the overall graphics of the game, the audio, the gameplay. It has everything, like the storytelling. That's a complete package of a game, as far as I'm concerned. And I think, like, I haven't played Astrobot. I think I've maybe watched 10, 30-second clips at most of if I'm really stretching it. But everything I've seen is, like you said, it just seems kind of just like a simple platformer. Speaking
of Hellblade, I will say, to me, like, Starfield, I can kind of get a little bit of maybe it getting the shaft. I will say the thing I kind of sinks. I don't think Starfield didn't get nominated for anything, which I think is kind of crazy.
It came out this year, 2024.
Yeah,
really. Jeez.
But to me, what's crazy is the fact that Hellblade really got the shaft. Like, so they have best art direction, and once again they have Astrobot on there. Black Myth Wukong, which I've heard multiple people that it is, a very beautiful game. Everyone was always going crazy about the sand physics. And then, once again, Elden Ring, Metaphor Refutatio, and Neva, which is an indie game. Neva is very beautiful. I actually looked that up. But yeah, to me, I don't get how Hellblade didn't make this. I have never seen a more photorealistic game. I've never played with a photo editor before, but I was constantly doing it in Hellblade. To me, that was the more bigger shaft, is that Hellblade wasn't even nominated for Best Art Direction. It did get Best Narrative and Best Performance.
Also for Best Audio Design.
No, yeah, and it didn't do Best Audio Design, which that also blew my mind. The music and, oh my gosh, the music and the audio in Hellblade is so good. Okay, never mind, I did see it. To me, if it doesn't win Best Audio, I will be pretty upset about that. I like Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is on there. Like, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, it's good, but I don't know if I would have nominated it.
Yeah,
I can't believe how much Astrobot's nominated.
That's what I don't get. And again, I really truly haven't looked into it a lot. And not even in like I don't care, it's on PlayStation, but I don't have a PlayStation, so I just haven't looked a lot into like a game I don't have the opportunity to play. And so I don't know a ton about it, but I do remember seeing everyone like raving about it like it was the greatest game that's ever existed. And it's funny because I feel like it came out right around Balatro. And everyone was like, this is the new greatest game ever. And then everyone stopped talking about that, but everyone's still playing Balatro. And now more people are.
That's what I mean. People will keep playing Balatro.
There was one Reddit post. I wish I could find it. It was like something about how they got their mom to stop playing Candy Crush, and now she plays Balatro. It's like, oh, that is like the perfect.
I mean, Balatro's cheaper than Candy Crush.
It really is. There's no in-game purchases. Buy once and you're done.
One thing I'm surprised too, I saw him tweet about it and I thought about it. I was like, man, they actually make a good point. But yeah, best ongoing game and best community support. Surprisingly, neither of this, but Cult of the Lamb was not nominated. And like, I at first I didn't think about it, but then they literally did a thread of like why we feel like we should have been nominated. And yeah, they literally have done a bunch of free DLCs. They've done multiple events. They've released multiple albums. They've done like hosting parties. Like they've done a whole bunch of stuff for the community. And the game has grown so much from what it originally was as a base game. And I'm kind of surprised they didn't get nominated.
Yeah, I was gonna. My first thing, my first gut instinct was like, oh, it didn't come out in 2024, but Fortnite and No Man's Sky
No Man's Sky,
didn't
yeah.
either. And so I guess if both those games could be on there, then yeah, I absolutely think that's really kind of a shaft. And, I get it. You only have 5 spots, and like I don't know, maybe No Man's Sky could have come out of there because I get the Helldivers as far as community support, assuming that's coming from the perspective of the players, right?
Yeah, because it's all about obviously working as a community. And honestly,
And
I think
that's like what
I have a feeling
Helldivers does.
Helldivers will win that category of best community support.
I mean,
Because-
there was things that they had like calculated out that should take like weeks for people to do, and everyone's like, "No, we're doing this today," and it was done in like 8 hours.
Oh man, and that game blew up like wildfire because of the community. Like when one of the planets fell, everyone kept calling it the Vietnam of Helldivers 2. They literally made like memorabilia capes in the game, and people were always talking about it. To me, I think for best community support, it'll probably go to Helldivers 2.
Yeah, that would make sense. I feel like Fortnite will probably just win ongoing game. I mean,
Probably.
Diablo 4, in my opinion, I think at this point of that list, and maybe again, because I haven't really played any of the others, I think Diablo 4 should.
No, I don't think Diablo 4 should, because to me, they came out, the game was kind of crappy. Like all they did was just make the game the way it should have been. You shouldn't be rewarded for that. Like you came out with some awful mechanics when the game came out, and
I get that, but the seasons have been, well, I haven't played them all as in depthly. They've all been different, and they've all had their unique characteristics.
Some were kind of throwaway.
I suppose. I think the real bummer to me in seasons of Diablo are that they're kind of just gone forever. And I think I think they occasionally have some that are like not resets, but like they just bring back everything or whatever, don't they? Like it's like I thought they did throwback ones, at least back in Diablo 3 or whatever. But I don't know. It's just always sad to me because I'm like, then my characters go to the Eternal, and then I'm like, well, I don't care about them anymore. They're dead to me.
Yeah. I mean, I think best ongoing game is going to go to Fortnite. I feel like it's hard to argue Fortnite.
I mean, they've got Snoop Dogg, so right? It is Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was like the new thing. Best mobile game I feel like is easily going to be Balatro. Same with best indie game. I don't know how it takes away. I mean, for best indie game, Animal Well's on that list too. Animal Well, I really want to check out. That's Donkey's game, and
I was just saying, isn't that the one from Donkey?
Yeah, but everyone says how amazing that game is. Manor Lords, which is also on Game Pass, is also nominated for best indie game, which I heard that is also good. Just very buggy. It's still in preview.
I say I've heard good things about it. Mobile game, that's going to be Balatro as well.
The other category that really kind of made me laugh, down here near the bottom, best adaptation. So this is obviously was like, video game adaptations and video format. So you have Arcane, which is League of Legends anime, which first season I loved. Haven't seen the second season yet. And then you got Fallout, which a lot of people loved. And then the list starts to get a little bit crappier. You got Knuckles, which I think Knuckles was okay. I haven't heard anyone talk about it, but like obviously the Sonic movies are good. Yeah, it's Sonic and Knuckles, but it's just Knuckles. Then you got Yakuza Like a Dragon, which that got buried so quick. I remember the Amazon talking about it. After a week, I have not saw a single post about that. I think it got like a 20 on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, it was not rated well.
Imagine having the capability of creating something great and saying, we want none of that.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go the complete opposite direction, but we are going to use your name.
Yeah, we're going to use your name, but nothing else. We're not going to really follow the characters, follow any of the stories. We're not going to have the same characters and the charm and, the likability of it. No, we're just going to do our own thing. And yeah, that got burned real quick. And then the other one is Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, which is an anime on Netflix, which that too also got rated very poorly.
I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah. No, it was not rated well. So I love that. You can kind of clearly tell this is kind of a slow year when, about 3 of the 5 things are not rated very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to see most of the list as we're kind of scrolling through it, make sure you check out our YouTube. We have the video shared up on there.
I do like how in their action adventure game, Astrobot was just in all caps. Like they were really excited about it when Astropod.
Yeah, that's the only one too.
I'm like, why are you screaming at me? It's just a game. Jeez.
But another one I'm kind of surprised that you really don't see on here is Pal World. Like, because I remember too, I was talking to my brother about this of like, I'm kind of surprised how Black Myth Wukong made Game of the Year. And he said, that game, he made a good point of that game broke records, broke records in China. Like it hit crazy numbers on, player base on Steam in China. But that's also why I'm surprised Pal World's not on there, because Pal World broke tons of records as well. But I don't think Pal World got nominated for anything.
I mean, Pal World died off quickly. And I think there's still a pretty sound playing of it, I'm sure. I actually don't know what the numbers look like, so I just saying that. But I do feel like the steam of it dropped off really quickly, because a lot of those games, like, and I know it's not a Minecraft, but it's in that vein of them enough that you can min-max them, I guess, but I don't know, with Pal Worlds, it just didn't feel like that.
I mean, did it hit like 12 million players in like a week?
Yeah, but I think people just figured out how to like max out the game so quickly.
Yeah.
And then it didn't grow quick enough for people to keep playing.
But it's been growing still. Like they've added like I think a whole other island and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I know. And I think there's actually even more coming out. I want to say I saw an ad for it recently. But either way, like I'm not, and not to say like it's a dead game by any means. I think it peaked out really quickly, and then just, I don't know, kind of like mid-tier game now in terms of play numbers and all that.
I think it should have at least probably won a nomination for best ongoing game.
Maybe.
To me, I feel like it did a really good job. I like there's a category for most anticipated game. Like, let's be honest.
Years down the road.
It's Grand Theft Auto 6. Because you got Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4, Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm sorry. It's going to be Grand Theft Auto. If Grand Theft Auto doesn't win that category, like, come on. Everyone's been waiting for Grand Theft Auto 6 since Grand Theft Auto 5 came out.
And what a meaningless award.
I know, it really is. Hey, here you go. We really want to play your game. Here's an award for it.
So, like, if you want to slip us a copy early, hey, you know?
Yeah, it's just an odd category.
Yeah, my most anticipated game is any Balatro DLC, so if you want to slip that my way.
But anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up here. We just kind of wanted to go over that list for a bit.
I was going to say, I know what I was going to ask you, Andrew, just because I don't know. What have you been playing, I guess?
What have I been playing?
I mean, I guess you've been playing some Stalker, which I have to start playing. I downloaded, but I have to start playing that.
Yep. Upcoming games we got. Keith said, we're playing Stalker 2. Have you started it yet, Keith?
I haven't. I downloaded it, though. So I have to start playing.
So I played a little bit of the first Stalker, but back in the day when I had it, I downloaded it in a super legitimate way. And I remember being like, the copy I had, well, the computer I had was not good, but I played a handful of hours of it. And I remember back in the day, it was very hard. So now I'm playing Stalker 2 and I'm like, yep, this game is still very hard.
Oh, good.
It does feel like Stalker though, which is really cool though. Overall though, I'm liking it. The people I'm seeing who like hating on the game are a lot of the, we'll obviously get into it in our episode, but a lot of people are just like, oh my gosh, the graphics, look at this fire. This game literally was developed in a war zone. And like any bugs I've been seeing are, if anything, just comical. I love comical bugs. As long as the
weird ragdolling and stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like one, he literally shoots a guy and the guy literally doesn't tumble. Like he literally just starts spinning and he flies away in the sky. I was like, I love those bugs. As long as I'm not getting a game breaking bug that's deleting my save file or I can't progress the story, because this is like an 80-hour game too. Like, I don't care. I'm okay with some bugs here and there. If anything, I find them kind of funny. But yeah, I've been liking it. I'm still, of course, playing a ton of Tectonica. I haven't beaten it yet still. I'm like right near the end.
Did you say there's like 100 floors?
No, there's like 15, I think. And I'm on 14. So I'm trying to get it. The last 3 floors, like the game changes so much. You have to essentially kind of start over and like, but also do a different thing. I love Tectonica, as you probably heard with this past week episode we had with it. But yeah, I'm still playing that a bunch.
And they're going to have to do it all over again once the achievements come out.
Yeah. But I finally finished the Brotato DLC. I like Keith, which I wanted to call you out on this. You've completely beat the game and you are still playing Brotato.
I still go back to it. It's just...
Which is so weird. You were literally on Gaming Together's podcast talking about Brotato. And I like you even described, you're like, yeah, it's like the most fun you'll have being bored. Like anytime you talk about Brotato, you're like, it's okay. Yet you have still put 24 days in it. Or no, Brotato's 12 days. It's Balatro you put 24 days in.
Yeah, they're both absurd numbers. I don't know. It's so stupid. And part of my explanation of that too, though, is that it's like, it's because I'm not like jumping out of my seat, like, oh my God, this is so much fun. But it's just like a challenge. And I know that it's in front of me. I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. It's almost like that platformer type of feeling of just like, I know I can make this jump. I know I can do this. I just have to keep trying. And honestly, I'm just like kind of messing around with the like hardest difficulty, just trying to beat it with different characters there, just here and there, trying different things. Well, because herein lies a little bit of the shame of it. Is it's you beat it with all of the characters and you get all of the achievements, and that's when you fully unlock all of the items. And then I'm just supposed to stop playing and not play with any of these items I've unlocked. Like, well, now I want to go mess around with those and like grab those every now and then and little things like that. See how it changes up the game. So I keep playing it. Balatro, I'm just working through the stakes. I'm working through. I think I have like 6 decks to go.
I feel like I need to make you like a t-shirt. We make like a merch that says like, this podcast survives Balatro and Brotato. Because it's like a lot of times I'm like, Keith is not playing this game's week. You literally will play the game like the day before we record. You finally get off Brotato to finally play the game so you can talk about it.
I'll slowly break away from Brotato. Probably not Balatro.
I like Brotato because I can play literally with one hand. So literally I can feed our baby and just all you need to control is the joystick. So all I do is left analog. I'm just moving my little character around. So I do like Brotato, but now that I've completely maxed it, I think I'm done with it.
It's all right. I think it's still fun enough to go back to. At least again, it's just like I never have to remember the controls. I never have to worry about that. I know what I'm doing. You know, at the very least, most of the items come back pretty quickly. Like, oh yeah, I know what that is. I know what that is. So that's easy. Obviously, a ton of Balatro too. Same thing.
Honestly, I haven't picked up Balatro in like 2 months.
Give it another go. Have you seen all the new card decks they have now? I mean, they're literally just designs. It's
no,
not anything. But now they have. Well, did you play?
I know they have Stardew Valley.
Yeah, the Stardew Valley ones are pretty cool. There was Among Us on the original grouping. There's another one in the new set that I really liked though. I can't remember what it was. The Stardew Valley ones are one of the ones I really like. But either way, that's a ton of fun. You know what I found? And if you haven't seen on my gamer score yet already, I found a new idle game. And it's like 2,000 gamer score.
Grim Idol?
Yeah. You can knock it out. That's another one where I kept playing it despite having the achievements. The only achievement I didn't get was like, stop playing this game for a while. And I just kept leaving it up. And I was like, oh yeah, I need to just close this game out for a while.
Yeah, achievement hunters, check out Grim Idol. Easy 2,000 gamer score. And it's free.
Well, in that one, if it's anything like DPS Idol, at least once there was a wave of achievements that got added to DPS Idol. Yeah. And it sounds so stupid to say because obviously it's really not a game that deserves to have a ton of time put into it. But it's almost disappointing because almost like DPS Idol, this is a game that goes like tears deep if you really get into it. And I'm like, why would you put all the achievements in like the first 2 hours of the game and then not incentivize playing it further? I'd be annoyed if it was like, here, you have to play 110 hours of this game basically to get it. But at the same token, either way, yeah, as Andrew said, you want a free 2,000 points, go download Grim Idol for free.
Yeah. Oh, a couple other games I've been playing because we unfortunately don't talk about it much, but I guess I'll give a quick shout out here. For Game Pass PC, StarCraft Remastered, so it's the first one, is on Game Pass PC, and the entire StarCraft 2 collection. If you have not played those games, they are so good.
I tried. Now, I know that the campaign in the missions get bigger, so don't get me wrong. I only played the first Just the first one. I was trying to
In
think
which
of
one? StarCraft 1?
I think so. Did I do Brood War?
Probably not. I mean, you select at the beginning. Do we want to do an episode on it, Keith?
We could, because I'm pretty sure, I mean, at least one of them, I was running it on my PC. I don't know how much better it could run. I think it was just capped by its own capabilities, because it wasn't exactly smooth. But I don't know if that was my computer or the game, but I think it was just the game.
But StarCraft 2 is so good. It's so good. Because it's essentially kind of 3 games in one. Like the original StarCraft just has like, each race you play like 8 missions on. But in StarCraft 2, like they're like full games. They're like 15, 20 missions with like each race. And they all are very different. Every mission was like, you actually are doing something unique. When you're playing as the humans, as you're progressing, like there's kind of a, you can change your units in different ways. So you're like, have a skill tree. And then when you go to the Zerg, you have like these mutations. It's such a good game.
Weren't there like hero units once you got into the second one?
No, not really. It depends. If you are playing as the Zerg, you get Kerrigan as hero.
And that's kind of
you kind of evolve her. But no, when you're playing as like Jim Raynor, like they did that in Warcraft where you kind of got like equipment, you had a hero character. They don't really do that in the StarCraft. You only did it in the Zerg campaign.
I was just so disappointed when I went to the online and there was no custom games. It's like, no, bring it back.
But the co-op in StarCraft 2 is really, really good. Like it has a whole leveling up system and you building up a skill tree, and it's a lot of fun.
A skill tree?
Yeah. So those ones you kind of have like hero characters, but you're not actually like playing as the characters. You're playing as them as like a commander. So let's say you're playing as like Jim Raynor. Like he is obviously a Terran, but he mostly focuses on like the infantry and like a little bit of some of the vehicles. Then you have, I forget the guy's name, but you have a guy who more focuses on the vehicles. And so you actually level up that kind of class, and you can pick different skills and stuff and how you do your build out and loadouts so you can play harder levels in the co-op. It's cool. A lot of hours you can put in that game. But another sequel is Frostpunk 2.
Yeah.
Loved Frostpunk 1. So I was so excited to see Frostpunk 2 come to Game Pass. It's a pretty different game.
Is it coming to console Game Pass too?
Yes. I think they said they were aiming, February. I think they were aiming for a console release.
Okay.
So it's going to be next year. But they do say they eventually want to come to console. But yeah, it's pretty different. The first one was all about you managing just a town and trying to survive the storm. But now you're trying to manage thousands of people in districts in multiple locations. It's pretty different. It's actually, I will say, it's much easier. I remember playing Frostpunk 1 and having to restart my run like 20 times. Frostpunk 2, I beat it the first time I tried. So it's a much more different game, but I still had a ton of fun with it. I liked Frostpunk 2 a lot. But yeah, that's about all I'm playing now.
I'm sure we'll end up playing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know you will anyways, I'm sure.
I mean, I already have.
So I'm sure we'll end up with an episode on it. Yeah, that I don't think my computer can run, but I do think it can run StarCraft. So maybe we'll do a StarCraft episode.
That'd be cool. It might be finally our first Game Pass PC episode.
I actually, what is it? Not Eye of the Storm.
Oh my gosh. You need to make me draw it.
Against the Storm?
Against the Storm, thank you, yeah.
That one I think I actually can run. I can't run it at like highest graphics, which is crazy because I don't think it's still very good graphics, but that one I actually think I was able to run when I tried it. Oh, okay. So maybe we could do that too.
All right. But yeah, I think that'll do us for this episode. If you want to check out the video, make sure go to our YouTube.com/GPGP. Thank you so much to everyone. We finally hit 100 subscribers. Took us a while. But yeah, you can also go to GamePassGrabOut.com. You'll find all our links, including our link to our YouTube. Join our Discord. Love getting feedback from people. I know I just bought a new mic, and I've already gotten some people in our Discord saying I sound much better. So hopefully, I could get rid of that popping noise. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone, all your support, all our Patreon members. We've been doing this for so many years now. Love hearing from you guys. So come join our Discord, because me and Keith are active on there, and I always love interacting with people. But yeah, I've been your hardcore gamer, host Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952. Make sure you check out our wonderful sponsor, Magic Mind. We've been ambassadors with them for a while. They're a great product. We have a promo code. Go to magicmind.com/bag20. use promo code BAG20. But yeah, Keith, why don't you say bye to people?
I've been here. And if you're looking for a new trashy reality show, Love After Lockdown, we recently discovered it's a reality TV show, relationships that mostly, at least so far, start while people are in prison. So that's the thing. Like there are special websites you can go to meet people who are currently in prison. So that's the thing.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's great. Honestly, I wish I like had a YouTube video I could pull up on the spot of this. It like had to have been scripted. This 30 seconds. One of them, she's a Mormon, and she's telling her Mormon friends about her 18-year in prison fiance who is in prison for like assault with a deadly weapon. It was amazing. I wouldn't say I've never laughed so hard, but over some trashy reality, it was probably one of the better laughs I've ever had. It's just you got to look it up. It's fantastic.
All right.
That's
Great
my
plug,
outro.
Keith.
That's my outro.
All right, everyone. We love you all. We'll see you again next week.
Bye.